Hi everyone, welcome to this 40-minute intermediate heart opening flow. So there's a lot compacted into this sequence, which will help articulate your spine, open up your shoulders, and strengthen your legs. When we work into back bends, powering from the legs and the glutes is essential to protect the lower back and ground you for complex postures such as wild thing and full wheel. And let's be honest, we could all do with a strong bum. So roll out your mat and let's get going.
Begin in child's pose. You can have your knees wide or you can have your legs together. Rest the belly in between the thighs or on top of them and try and sit your bum back towards your heels and rest the forehead to the ground. And with the arms out in front of you, I want you to turn the palms up towards the sky to encourage some external rotation in your shoulders and a softness in the chest and openness in the upper back. Take a deep inhale where you are. And a big exhale where you are. Set yourself up for this practice. And again, breathe in. Breathe out. One more deep breath in where you are. One more big breath out where you are, melting into the mat every time you exhale. Turn the palms flat to the floor and start to slide your fingers back towards your knees and start to peel your body off of the thighs. You're still sitting on your heels, maybe squeeze your legs a little bit closer together. I want you to keep your fingertips on the floor if you can. As you then eventually start to lift your chin, graze the fingers slightly back past your hips and lift your chest. Keep your bum on your heels. Take a big inhale, lift the chest up towards the sky. You're in baby camel. Exhale through the mouth here. Slowly bring your hands out in front of you and you're going to grab hold of the opposite elbows or forearms. And as though you're picking up a t-shirt over your head, you lift the arms up. Keep hold of the elbows or forearms and you're going to start to tilt from left to right, working into the side of your body. Make your way into every single space between each rib. And this movement is very intuitive. There's no right, there's no wrong. How does the back feel? And as we work into some deep heart openers, which are back bends, which are strong through the legs, we still want the shoulders to be nice and open. We want the shoulders to be strong, but ultimately they're open. One more breath in where you are. Exhale, slowly release the hands, come back into baby camel. Take your fingertips just behind you, lift the chest up, have that slight arch in the spine, breathe in. As you exhale here, you're going to slide your hands forward. We're going to come into Anahatasana, which literally means heart opener. Anahatasana, Hatasana in Sanskrit is heart. You're going to turn your palms in, though, to face one another in this position. Keep your hips above your knees, and you're going to drop your forehead towards the floor. So rather than dropping the chin and creasing into the neck, I want you to drop the forehead down. Imagine someone's pulling you back by the hips, tuck your toes and turn the palms still to face one another. As you press down the little finger side of the hands a little bit more, I want you to gain a bit more stretch through the armpits. One more breath in. Exhale, gaze forward, plant the palms down to the ground. Start to ripple your chest forward. We're going to come all the way onto our bellies. Sliver your way forward, working into your spine. Take your hands out as wide as the mat and then take your feet out about as wide as the mat as well. Point the toes, squeeze your bum, press down through the fingertips and inhale. Peel the upper body off the floor. Lift your belly, your ribs, your chest, your shoulders, your gaze. Squeeze your bum. Massive cobra. Exhale, bend your elbows and ripple down. This time your forehead's going to glue to the floor. Keep your arms as they are. Point the toes and you're going to start to lift your feet, your shins, your knees and the tops of your thighs just off the ground. Squeeze your bum. Maybe even bend the knees. Engage the glutes. Then extend the legs long, lower the feet back down to the floor and just repeat the upper body lift for me again. Press down through the fingertips. Inhale, peel the body off the floor. Squeeze your bum. Active in the back of the body. Breathe in. Hold this here, start to roll the head from side to side. Press the thigh bones into the floor. And then you can start to add a little bit more movement through the chest and through the shoulders.
Bend the elbows. Wiggle it out. See how you feel. Maybe even slightly twisting over to one side. Twisting to the other side. Squeeze your bum. Now this will really show you how much the legs need to be active as you take it into back bends today. Exhale, slowly ripple down. Slide your hands under your shoulders. Tuck the toes. Keep your feet wide. You're going to press into your first downward facing dog. Feet about as wide as the mat. Tilt the tailbone up towards the sky. Drop the head through the arms. You're going to straight away start to send your hands, walk your hands back towards your feet to the point that your heels can touch the floor. Now bend your knees, reach the fingertips out in front of you, gaze towards them. Really bend the knees and then try and poke your tailbone a little bit further back behind you. Now if you can, hover your fingers off the floor so the arms come up in line with your ears and pull the lower ribs back. Work into the back of your body. All these muscles that sandwich the spine are going to really switch on here. Weight stays back in the heels. One more breath in. Exhale, lower your fingertips down. Start to walk your hands forward. Keep your feet wide. As soon as your hands are forward, you're going to ripple forward into high plank. Articulate your spine. Exhale, your first chaturanga. You can lower the knees if you need to. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. I want you to repeat that same thing again. Walk your hands back towards your feet, bend your knees. Once the heels touch the floor, glue the fingertips into the ground. Look forward. Then drop the chin, lift the arms off the floor. Keep the arms in line with the ears. Pull the lower ribs and the belly in without sucking your breath. Inhale. Exhale, lower the hands down. Walk your hands forward. Again, you ripple forward, keep the legs wide, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Zip up the thigh muscles. Inhale, lift upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. You're going to walk your hands back for the third and final time. This time, you turn your heels in, your toes out, you bend your knees, and you come to malasana at the back of the mat, yogi squat. And in this yogi squat, you can move however you need to move right now. How do your hips feel? You can shift it from left to right. You can take it into side tilts. You can drop both of the hands down and relax the head if you need to. Those of you that feel comfortable to bring the arms up over the head back into that position where you held the opposite elbows or forearms, then maybe bring it into that position. Exhale, slowly release. Everyone, walk your hands forward and you're going to come into a regular downward facing dog. Walk your feet slightly narrower. Still keep a little bend in the knees. And now a regular vinyasa. Inhale, take it forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Wiggle it out here. Bend your knees. Plant the foot down one by one. Wiggle out through the hips. And you're going to lift your right leg up. First of all, lift your right leg up as high as you can. And then I want you to flex the right foot. Bend your right knee. And then square your hips. So your right leg is actually going to lower down slightly as you square up the right hip. Keep the foot active and pulse your heel 1 more inch up towards the sky so your glutes switch on. In this position, I want you to look forward towards your thumbs and your fingers. So it's a slight arch in the spine, it's a back bend. I call this a Scorpio dog. As you exhale, keep your foot flexed and your knee bent, but bring your right knee forward into high plank. Curve the spine, keep the foot flexed. Inhale, kick your right heel back up towards the sky, arch the spine, Scorpio dog. Exhale, you're going to cross your right knee to your left elbow. Keep the foot flexed. Hold this here. You're going to hover your left hand off the floor, push away through the right hand and peel the left arm up towards the sky. Now it's like you're taking a falling star, but this right knee stays bent. Inhale here. Exhale, take the left hand down. Lift your right leg back up. Scorpio dog, flex the foot, bend the knee, chest forward.
Now extend your right leg all the way up towards the sky, point the toes. You can open the hips and then rise up onto your right fingertips, just the right fingertips. Bend the right knee and allow the head to poke forward and slightly back, as if there's eyes in the back of your head gazing towards this right foot. Exhale, step the right foot through between your hands. Lower your left knee down. Inhale, scoop the arms up over the head into crescent moon. Breathe in. Exhale, circle the arms down. Rest your belly towards your thighs and repeat the circle. Inhale, scoop it all the way up. Press down through the big toes. Exhale, open the elbows, rest the belly towards the thighs. This time you're going to interlace your fingers behind you. Inhale, lift up through the fist, then the shoulders and the chest and then the head. Slide your fist down the back of your left thigh or the left glute. Press down your big toes and lift the heart up towards the sky. Keep the hands interlaced, and we're going to go for a half humble warrior. Call it half because the back knee is on the floor. You're going to start to drop your right shoulder to the inside of your right thigh. Keep the hands together, drop your chin, bring the arms up over the head. Work into that shoulder mobility. Exhale, slowly start to lift up via the fist first, lift the chest. Then exhale, release your hands. Bring your left hand down next to your right foot and reach the right hand out in front of you. Turn the right toes slightly out and open and curve the right arm up over the head as you take a subtle twist towards the front thigh. So it's nothing too aggressive. You work into the side of the body. Keep the back toes tucked and the back knee is on the floor. Take one more breath where you are. One more exhale where you are. Now you're going to pivot your back toes, your left toes, slightly over to the left. They'll probably come off of the mat. And you're going to extend your right leg towards the back of the room. Modified side plank. Flex the right foot. Imagine that right foot is pushing into a wall. It's so active. So you squeeze the glutes as you do so. Keep it really engaged. Hold here or bend your right knee. Keep the foot flexed. And if you can, I want you to place your right hand onto your right heel bone. And then kick your heel into your right hand. So the activeness is through the leg. The action is through the leg. One more breath in where you are. Kick the heel into the hand, chest up towards the sky. Modified side plank bind. Exhale, slowly release the foot, re-kick the right foot towards the back of the room. And then from there, you're going to re-bend the right knee, but point the toes and let the right foot step towards where you think and feel the left toes might be. Modified side wild thing. Inhale, open up the front of the body. Exhale, re-extend your right leg long. And give me one more of those modified wild things. Bend the knee, tap the toes down, squeeze your bum, press the hips forward and reach that right arm over the head. Exhale, take your right hand down to the floor. Re-kick the left toes back onto the mat. Keep your right foot off the ground. I want you to lift up into a three-legged dog from here. Use the power of the legs. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your right shin forward towards the back of the wrist. Lower the right shin down. Keep your back toes tucked. And we're working into a slightly different version of pigeon. So the shin is down, active through the shin and the back of the foot. Tuck the back toes. And you can either keep the hands on the floor, or anyone that feels ready to bring the hands off the ground, you've got to really press down through the floor first. Lift the pelvic floor away from everything else, from the ground, and bring the arms up over the head. Squeeze your bum, super, super strong through the back foot. Bring your hands together into prayer, and you're going to press the wrist creases up against the back of the head. Wrap the upper arm bones towards the sky. Pull the lower ribs in, work it into your shoulders. Take a big inhale. Exhale, slowly start to slide your back toes maybe a couple more inches down the mat so you can lower. Hold it, press down through the toes, squeeze your bum, press the head into the hands, inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, slowly slide the toes a little bit further down. Release the arms so the back knee and the thigh may be just on the floor. So staying in this back bend, can you open the arms out by your sides? One more breath in here. So the stronger that you are in the legs, the better this back bend is. You've got some more space in this lumbar spine. Exhale, slowly release. Bring your hands back down in front of you. Keep the back toes tucked, and you're going to lift your right leg back up into three-legged dog. Point the right toes, gaze forward towards your fingertips. Rise up onto your right fingertips so it becomes like one limb on this right side from your fingertips all the way to the toes. Bend the right knee, open the hip, and either stay where you are or work this into a slight balance. Maybe you want to hover the right hand off the floor. See where you are today. So it's not too dissimilar to a very high side plank. One more breath in. Exhale, take the right hand down. Lower the right foot to the floor. Everyone inhale, ripple forward into high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, lower your knees. Sit your bum back into child's pose. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Belly onto the thighs, rest the forehead down. And keep this movement going slightly here in your child's pose. This little sway from side to side. We'll focus on the breath, slow it down. And stay here just to get your breath back and get that feeling back. So when we work into heart openers, back bends, the power is in the legs and the glutes. So I don't want you to move quickly into a back bend. We've got to ground ourselves down through the feet and the legs and the glutes to find more space in the lumbar spine so that we can open up the front of the body without pushing all of our weight into that more vulnerable part of our spine. Create space. Take it slow. Stay with your breath and ground yourself down. We'll take everything to the other side. So if you need to come through a bit of a cat-cow, arch the spine, curve the spine, give a little wiggle, do what you need to do. But eventually you're going to come into downward facing dog and lift your left leg up towards the sky. Point the left toes. Left leg is long to begin with. And then you flex the left foot. Notice how things can change just by flexing the foot or pointing it. Bend your left knee. Lower your left leg a couple of inches so you can square your hips. Then gaze forward towards your fingers and your thumbs. Arch the spine, chest forward, broaden the collarbones. Scorpio dog. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose, but keep your left foot flexed. Round the spine. Inhale, kick your left heel back up, Scorpio dog. Exhale, knee to your right elbow, cross the body. Flex the left foot. Hold this here. You're going to slide onto the inner edge of the right foot. Hover the right hand off the floor as if you're coming into a falling star. But keep the left knee bent and the left foot flexed. Breathe in. Use your obliques, your side abdominals to push up. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, kick your left heel up towards the sky, arch the spine, breathe in. Extend your left leg long, point the toes, bend the knee, open the hips, and you can rise up onto your left fingertips, changing it up. And imagine you have eyes in the back of the head that want to gaze towards the left toes. Exhale, step your left foot through between your hands. Find all that space to step the left foot forward. Lower the right knee down. Keep the back toes tucked and stay strong through the big toes. Inhale, circle the arms up over the head, breathe in. Exhale, circle the arms down and drop the belly towards the thigh. And again, inhale, circle it all the way up. Exhale and drop it down. Interlace the fingers behind you. Squeeze the shoulders back, lift the chest, slide your fist down the back of the right thigh. Keep the back toes tucked and lean away from your front leg. Breathe in.
Exhale, half humble warrior. Left shoulder drops down to the inside of your left leg. Keep the hands interlaced, drop the head. Arms come up over the head, work into your shoulder girdle. Hug your left thigh up against your left shoulder. Breathe in. Exhale, start to lift up via your fist first, lift the chest. Once you get to the top, release the arms. Right hand comes down next to your left foot. Reach the left hand forward. Now here's where you can turn the left toes out slightly. And you're trying to twist towards the front thigh, but really you're leaning away from it. Curve the left arm over the head. Work it into the side of the body. Inhale here. Exhale here. Modified side plank time. You're going to pivot your back toes, your right toes, slightly over to the right side of the room. Extend your left leg to the back of the room. Flex the foot, spread the toes. Kick that heel into something imaginary. Squeeze your bum. And the heel is up in line with your hip. So you don't want a lazy leg. Lift it. You can stay here if you need to, or bend the left knee. Keep the foot flexed, and this left hand will touch the left heel. Then make the heel do the work. Push the heel into the hand. Breathe in. Exhale, release everything, extend. Arm overhead, leg long. This time, as you bend the knee, point the toes. You're going to step the left toes behind you towards where the right toes feel they might be. Use your proprioception. Squeeze your bum, press the hips forward, modified wild thing. So using our proprioception means using our spatial awareness, our spatial orientation. Extend the arm and the leg once again back into modified side plank. Breathe in, one more time. Exhale, bend the left knee, tap the left toes behind you. Squeeze your bum, press the hips forward. Modified wild thing. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Re-kick the right toes back onto the mat. Lift your left leg back up into three-legged dog. So use the power of this right thigh to lift you up. Exhale, bring your left shin forward. Lower the left shin down, but keep the back toes tucked. So you're trying to push yourself away from the floor. Even if you just have your hands on the ground for this whole section and try and lift the chest forward, then stay. Maybe over time you can lift one hand off the ground. Maybe the other hand comes off too. So super strong through the legs, squeeze your bum. If you've got your hands off the floor, inhale, bring the arms up over the head. Hands together, bring the wrist crease behind the head. Push the head into the hands, wrap the elbows up towards the sky, pull the ribs back. Exhale. Breathe and lift, squeeze. Exhale, slide your right toes, your back toes slightly further down the mat, still away from the floor. Breathe in, engage, active. Exhale, soften. So perhaps the back knee is just touching the floor. Release the arms. Squeeze your bum. Arms down by your sides, palms open. Slowly exhale, bring your hands out in front of you. Take a moment here, long in your spine. Tuck the back toes, lift your left leg straight back up into three-legged dog. As soon as it's there, look towards your fingers and your thumbs. Rise up onto your left fingertips. So there's a lift in the armpit. Bend the left knee, work into that little back bend where you bring the head back towards the left toes. Or start to work it more into that very high side plank. Hover the left fingertips off the floor. Work into your balance. See where you're at today. And it's okay if you wobble and you fall. It's all part of the process. One more breath in. Exhale, left hand back down. Lower the left foot to the floor. Everyone, inhale, ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga of your choice. It's okay to lower the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, push it back into child's pose. Turn the palms up towards the sky, drop the forehead to the floor. Bum to your heels. And again, if that movement is there for you, still move. Still sway. Slow down your breath. So there are tons of opportunities that are back bends and heart openers in our flows. So even just adding in that little Scorpio dog,
becomes a back bend, but the power is through the legs. It's this openness in the shoulders. It's not about us necessarily falling back. We have to support ourselves in that huge position. So we're going to take it into a big, although healthy, back bend called Shalabhasana. With Shalabhasana, it's known as the queen of the back bend. So we're going to ripple down onto our bellies. It's great because we have the support from the floor in this position. So when you're ready, start to ripple yourself forward, down onto your belly. But first of all, we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So with Sphinx pose, you bring your forearms out in front of you, line your elbows underneath your shoulders, and spread your fingertips out wide. Squeeze your bum, active through the legs, really point the toes, and shine your chest forward. Broaden the collarbones. So notice if you're just dumping into your lower back and into your neck and not engaging the glutes. So when you do, squeeze your bum, press down through the thighs, and naturally the ribs sort of pull back and the abdominals switch on. Less pressure is going into those more vulnerable creases of your back. Now you can stay here in Sphinx. For a lot of people, this is enough, and this is a really great place to be. Otherwise, you press down through your hands and your fingers, and you inhale, lift your elbows and your forearms off the floor. Doesn't have to be 100%. Exhale, lower the elbows back down. I want you to imagine that you've got an elastic band wrapped around your arms. So you can't let the elbows shoot out to the side. They wrap in as you lift up. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. If you ever need a little break, you bring one hand on top of the other and rest the forehead down and wiggle out your hips. Now that may have been what you wanted to stick with and keep working with. Otherwise, we're going to work into quite a big pose, which is also a bit of a twist. So we'll all come back to the same place to begin with, back in our Sphinx pose. Chest forward, active in the legs. Now you may just want to go up and down, or we lift up and you hold. You stay there, or lift your right hand off the floor. Left arm is holding you here. Stay there, or cross your right hand onto your left thigh. Squeeze your leg. Chest forward. You can stay there, or bend the left knee. Squeeze your bum. Stay there, or use your spatial awareness, your proprioception, to grab the foot. Kick the foot into the hand, pull the lower ribs in, squeeze your bum, gaze forward, shoulders pretty square towards the front of the room. Breathe in. Exhale, softly let go of the foot. Bring your right hand back down, lower the forearms to the floor, take a breather. One hand on top of the other, rest the forehead down, and wiggle your bum. Take it to the other side, back into Sphinx. Wrap the forearms in, super strong in the upper body, powerful in the lower part of the body. Lift the ribs away from the ground. Inhale, lift the elbows. You can hold it. You can drop down and up. Or left hand off the floor. Breathe in, squeeze. Exhale, left hand to your right thigh. Shoulders square. Breathe in. Stay there, or bend the right knee. Stay there, or left hand to right foot. Kick, squeeze, lift, engage, keep it open. Exhale, release. Lower it down, rest here. Forehead to the hands, wiggle the bum and the hips, and soften your breath. Well done. And while you're here, you can keep the head on the hands, bend both of your knees, flex your feet. One of my absolute favorites to get into the glutes is you keep the feet flexed, but bring the heels to touch. And as the heels touch, the thighs will naturally open. In that position, I want you to kick your heels up, and maybe the thighs lift off the floor an inch, maybe a centimeter, maybe several inches. Keep your head on your hands and start to pulse your heels up and down. Get your bum to work for you. They are huge muscles, but they're lazy. Pulse it. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Well done. Slide your hands under your shoulders, tuck the toes, press it into a tiger dog. Now with tiger dog, it's a downward facing dog, but it's slightly narrower and your knees are really bent. Push the floor away, get super strong through the hands. And here in this tiger dog, pedal out your heels one at a time. How does the back feel after that big dose of Shalabhasana? And it's always good to come in and notice how you feel. We're going to come into some waterfall back bends, I like to call them, just because they flow one into the other. So you might want to check out how they look right now. You're going to be in your tiger dog, bend your knees, and you're going to cross your right foot in front of your left foot over to the left edge of the mat. And you're going to be swiveling on the balls of your feet to lift the left hand off the floor, press the hips up towards the sky, squeeze the bum, and you'll end up what looks like a flip dog, if you know the terminology. Left hand comes down, and we switch to the other side. You step your left foot through to the right side of the mat, swivel on the balls of your feet, squeeze your bum, press your hips to the sky, and reach the right hand up. Exhale, take the right hand down. You shouldn't have to move the feet too much. They swivel. So then your right foot will step to the left edge of the mat. Join in with me whenever you're ready. And don't worry if it doesn't quite go to plan. This is great for your shoulders. To see how we sort of unravel ourselves from one pose into another. The transitions are my favorite part of yoga. How we get from one place to the other, that little journey. One more on each side, breathe in. Exhale, left hand down. Left foot steps over to the right edge of the mat, swivel, squeeze your bum, open it up, breathe in. Exhale, take the right hand down, find a regular downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Come up onto your right fingertips. Look forward. Bend the knee, open the hips, and then you can let the head just fall back. Now start to shift the weight slightly further forward into the hands and the wrists, and let your right foot fall behind your left thigh. Squeeze your bum, press the hips up, wild thing. Now in this position, if anyone has the full wheel, Urdhva Dhanurasana transition, then you're welcome to play with this, knowing that you have to come out of it somehow. Everybody slowly, right hand will come back. Lift your right leg up towards the sky, breathe in. Exhale, lower the right foot down. Cross your right hand to your left ankle. Little bend of the knees if you need to. Gaze underneath your left armpit. Breathe in. Exhale, release your hand back to the front of the room. And lift your left leg up towards the sky. Point the toes, rise up onto your left fingertips. Gaze forward. Bend the left knee and let the head poke back. Shift the weight slightly further forward and we go wild thing to the other side. Let your left foot drop behind your right thigh. Squeeze your bum, press your hips up. Left arm comes up over the head. You can stay here or work it into your full wheel. Squeeze your bum, active in the legs, open in the shoulders and the chest. And eventually everyone, left hand comes back down. Back into down dog and slide your left hand over to your right ankle and shin. Gaze underneath your right armpit. Take a big breath in. Exhale, left hand down. Lower your knees. Anahatasana. Slide your hands forward. Keep your hips above your knees. Turn the palms in to face one another. Press down through the little finger side of the hands. Lower the forehead and imagine someone's pulling you back by your hips. Inhale here. Exhale here. Can you keep your ribs up slightly? So rather than just collapsing here, keep it active. Untuck your toes, slide your arms and your hands back towards your knees, and slowly start to ripple up, all the way up. Massive, well done. Rest the hands onto your thighs and just breathe here. So what I want us to also be mindful of is when we go into like a big back bend, you don't want to straight away go into a deep forward fold. There are two extremes that we're working with. So take a moment sort of in this middle ground to let the body settle. We're going to eventually swing the legs around and come down onto our backs to close this up. If you do have a very funky jump through that you want to go for, back flip into it, I don't mind, but I'm just going to swivel the legs round and come down onto your backs. So again, I've been harping on a lot about the legs and the glutes being really fired up when we go into a back bend. So when we go into this bridge, we're just going to do a little bit of a drill to fire up the back of the legs again. So bend the knees, but flex your feet and press the heel bones into the floor. Now it's quite nice to bend the elbows so that you can press the backs of the arms into the ground. Squeeze your bum, lift the hips up, keep the feet flexed and keep the knees traveling straight forward. And then just lower the hips down. Inhale, press the hips up, squeeze, keep the feet flexed. Lower the hips down. Inhale, lift the hips up, hold it. You're going to lift your right leg. Hold that right leg up, flex the foot, lower the hips down. Inhale, press the hips up. And again, lower the hips down. Press the hips up. Extend the right leg all the way up towards the sky. Keep the foot flexed. Lower the hips down. Inhale, press the hips up like you're trying to push the sole of the foot into the sky. And again, exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale, press the hips up. Hold it. Hold the hips high as you start to lower the right heel with a straight leg towards the floor. And then try and lift that right leg back up. Bend the right knee. Lower the right heel down. Drop the hips to the floor. Well done. Open your feet out about as wide as the mat and plant the toes onto the floor. Open the arms out wide and drop both of your legs to the right. So you can let this left side, the side that's just been switched on the whole time, have a little bit of a breather. Breathe into the left side of your gut a little bit more. And then down into the left thigh. Well done. Bring it back into center because it's not fair that we don't do the other side. Flex the feet, bend the knees, bend the elbows if you want to. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, hips down. Inhale, hips up, hold it, lift the left leg up. Keep both of the feet flexed. Lower the hips down. Inhale, lift the hips up. Jam that right heel into the floor, lower the hips down. Inhale, lift the hips up and extend the left heel straight up towards the sky. Lower the hips down. Inhale, hips up. One more time, down. Inhale, hips up, hold it high, squeeze the bum. Start to lower your left heel, the left leg, all the way down to the floor with a straight leg. And then inhale all the way back up. Once you're at the top, bend the left knee, lower the left heel, breathe in, lower the hips down completely. Open the feet out about as wide as the mat. Open the arms out and drop both of your knees to the left. Find that softness again. Give the right side of your body a little bit of a break. Now, if you want to take a traditional Setu Bandhasana, regular bridge, by all means, we'll take it into that regular bridge. Otherwise, if you want to go into a full wheel from here, then now is your time to shine. So we'll set ourselves up for both of those. They can be the same prep. Arms down by your sides, bend the knees, heels a little bit closer towards your sit bones. Imagine you're hugging a brick in between your thighs, squeeze your bum and lift the hips. Those of you working into bridge can interlace the fingers underneath you. Those of you working into full wheel, hands come next to your shoulders. Wrap the arm bones in and the elbows shoot up towards the sky. Power through the legs. Get the glutes to do something for you. And we lift the chest. So we've been working on opening these shoulders. Super strong in the legs. When you're ready, exhale, slowly come down, release the hands. Those of you in a regular bridge, and ripple down the spine. You can hug your knees into your chest. If there is another full wheel that you really want to take right now, you are more than welcome to take that with the final minute. Otherwise, if you feel that you're done here, we're going to take it into a forward fold in a moment. Just rest the spine, rock it out from side to side. Anyone that is doing that second full wheel, start to think about coming down and hug your knees into your chest. We're going to rock up and down the length of the spine a few times until eventually you're ready to rock all the way up and shoot the legs straight out in front of you. And we take our forward fold. So we want to encourage this little anterior tilt in the pelvis, so a real lift up in the spine rather than a rock back. So we want to get right on the tops of the sit bones, flex the feet. If you need to bend the knees, please do. And start to work down the shins, down to the toes or the feet. Maybe peace fingers can hook around the big toes. And as you press down through the sit bones, you push down through the heel bones, you pull against the toes and you lift up through the crown of the head. And even if you have a very solid forward fold that you don't need to bend the knees, it's quite nice to start this way so that you keep a check on your back. And then eventually maybe the heels push forward a little bit more. And maybe exhale, bend the elbows, holding the feet, the toes, the ankles or the shins. Relax the chin. And we edge a little bit further down. And take 3 breaths where you are. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more deep breath in. 1 more big breath out. And then start to walk your hands back up towards your knees and your shins. And we're going to come into a closing seat, a comfortable seat. We call a Sukhasana. It can be kneeling, it can be cross-legged, it can be whatever position is best for you to end your practice in. To take a minute to rest the hands on your thighs or maybe hands on your belly, your ribs, your heart, or palms together. Close the eyes and just notice your breath. Notice the breath in the body. How do you feel? And remember, this is a journey. Our problems aren't cured after one yoga session. We commit to this. And we give our body, our minds, and our hearts and souls the time to heal, to grow. Take a final breath in together and a final breath out together. Namaste. Thank you for joining. I hope your backs are feeling nice and open. I hope your legs and your glutes are feeling really strong. Thanks as always for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe and tell all of your friends. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day.